Welcome to Case Series. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more courtroom drama.
Wait, Your Honor, I don't have screenshots.
You will not interrupt, ever. I let you go on and on. I told you what I'm trying to focus on here. Keep trying it, Mr. Vincent. You're going to run into trouble with me real fast. That's a wrong answer. I'll deal with this in a minute because right now I'm furious, Mr. Vincent, that you would
Welcome back to the channel, where we break down the wildest courtroom showdowns you'll ever see. And today, we've got a nuclear meltdown on our hands. This isn't your average hearing over late fees or parking tickets. This is the People versus Tom Carter, a case dripping with drama, contradictions, and one defense attorney who pushes the judge right to the edge. The star players? Judge Simpson, known for keeping order at all costs, and defense attorney John Vincent, who thinks he can outsmart the entire courtroom. But when Vincent decides not to tell his client about a direct order to turn himself in, things spiral into chaos. Was this arrogance, incompetence, or a risky strategy gone wrong? By the end of this case, Judge Simpson's fury hits a boiling point, and Vincent's career may never be the same. Buckle up, because this case has everything: legal loopholes, missing witnesses, and a lawyer skating dangerously close to misconduct. Let's dive in.
And generated somehow, all while outside, 6 other phone calls from 6 different numbers, none of which line up to the defendant. If she's not here, Your Honor, then I think that that is a very, very strong indication that this is not factual. The other thing in this, Your Honor, this person alleges that he stole a gun from her in Pittsfield Township. Well, you know, if that's the case, then shouldn't this have been a little higher priority? I think the prosecution knows that this is not accurate. There's just simply, there's nothing before the court today to indicate that he is guilty of what they're saying he's guilty of. If she's not here, she should have been here. There's no Romulus police officers here, not that they saw anything anyway. There's no third party in the police report that says witnesses, none. Wait a minute, he's broke into this apartment complex, banging on the door, goes outside, supposedly shouting the N-word. Don't you think somebody would have witnessed that, especially at 2 p.m.? Oh, you know, without a witness, without some shred of physical evidence, there's nothing. This is just the allegations of someone who did not bother, apparently, to show up to court, both for this.
Here's where the defense tries to spin the story. Vincent leans hard on the lack of physical evidence. No fingerprints, no DNA, no third-party witnesses, nothing but the alleged victim's word. On paper, it sounds like a strong argument, right? But here's the trick. He's not addressing the actual issue. The judge wasn't asking him to relitigate the case. This was about the bond violation, whether Carter broke the conditions of his release. And the fact that Vincent keeps dragging the conversation back to no evidence feels less like strategy and more like smoke and mirrors. Experienced judges see through this instantly.
Where he's charged with domestic violence. He's also on bond awaiting pretrial where he's charged with child abuse force. He's also on bond waiting a probable cause conference where he's charged with resisting and obstructing a police officer and fleeing third degree. Mr. Vincent claims that he knew nothing about screenshots. Well, I just said on the record I don't have them. I'm awaiting them. But they are in the Romulus police report. They say that they do have screenshots, so maybe he didn't read that report. Also,
Wait, Your Honor, I don't have screenshots.
You will not interrupt, ever. I let you go on and on. I told you what I'm trying to focus on here. Keep trying it, Mr. Vincent. You're going to run into trouble with me real fast. Ms. Kirby, you may continue.
Thank you. I also explained in my motion that the Romulus police report is different than the 2 other contacts that this victim had with the sheriff's department. I've included those police numbers. Those are also in the motion. So I'm not sure what he means on, I have no idea why the sheriff's department and Romulus were here. No, it's completely different. And I don't have the accusations in those. I'm awaiting to get those, given that they're not in our county, and I followed the process to get those. Also, this is, if we're having a bond violation hearing, I would just remind the defense counsel that it's not beyond a reasonable doubt for a bond violation. So I would ask the court to take what it has in front of it, including the Romulus PD report, and either adjourn so I can get the other police reports, and so I can get the actual screenshots and possibly a search warrant for this. And I would ask for the defendant's bond to be revoked, and he to be remanded. Given the seriousness of this case and the seriousness of his other two cases, I do believe he's not only a threat to the victim, but to the safety of the community and also children. He seems to find it funny as his defense attorney speaks, which also tells me that he does not take this as serious at all, which also concerns me. As for the complaining witness not being present,
The judge isn't buying it. And here's why. If Carter truly did all the things alleged, kicking doors, yelling slurs, making repeated phone calls, anyone should have witnessed it. A case like this isn't happening in a vacuum. This is the judge calling out the implausibility of Carter's alibi and indirectly poking holes in Vincent's narrative. Remember, when judges start laying out the common sense angle like this, it's often a setup before they drop the hammer. And honestly, the smug way Vincent tries to wave it all off makes it worse.
I did not know that he was going to be here. I thought he was still out since he had not turned himself in, and his attorney was well aware that he had a warrant out with no bond. So she is not present. Last time I spoke to her, she was in fear for her life. She said she would continue to answer the phone, but she has been placed in a different place that I know of the location that she does not want me to share out loud. I have no problem sharing that with the court, but she is not present. And regardless if she was present or not, I can still proceed based on forfeiture by wrongdoing with the interference that the defendant has committed himself through these other police reports. And I was going to ask for time to get those anyway so that I could present those at trial. So regardless if she is here or not, and just for the record, the court rule does not actually say I have to have a witness present. It actually says I have to say if I can proceed or not, which is what I'm doing. Thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Benson?
And if hearsay allegations, someone's not here. This all happened in the last 48 hours, 72 hours.
Two things is not here, but if I look at what's in here, first of all, you're mixing two things. Because certainly they can proceed by hearsay as regards to bond violation. So that maybe we can clear that part up, because so they don't need her here for that. And stated to the court that they can proceed without her if necessary, but that they also do know where she is.
I don't know how they could possibly proceed when there is not a
That's
snitch.
not your issue. They made the representation to the court.
Okay, and I'm making a representation to the court that when you read the police report, which you have,
I read it.
then you know that there is only her allegation. At least for what I have in front of me and what you have in front of you. And he is here. He's availed himself to the court every time that I've had anything to do with him.
And here comes the prosecutor to burn the house down. She isn't just refuting Vincent's claims. She's stacking charges like poker chips. Domestic violence, child abuse, resisting police, fleeing. This isn't one slip-up. This is a pattern of chaos. What makes it even heavier is how Carter sits there laughing, like the whole thing's a comedy show. That only reinforces the prosecutor's point. This guy doesn't take any of it seriously. And honestly, that smirk, it might cost him more than any missing witness could.
Court should have instructed your client to do that the court had revoked his bond. So I want an answer to that question.
Yeah, I mean, we were going to be here today.
That's not an answer to my question. Mr. Allen.
According to what the defendant just told his attorney is that he told him to just show up today and not turn himself in.
That's correct, Your Honor. I mean, and that if
Oh, put me in handcuffs, man.
That's a wrong answer.
I'm sorry. I mean,
Way the wrong answer.
I'm sorry, man. I'm actually,
I'll deal with this in a minute, because right now I'm furious, Mr. Vincent, that you would represent that client defendant remanded. Take you. Court's gonna stand in recess. Court calls the case of the people versus Cameron Crowder. Recall.
now Vincent, on behalf of the defendant. Yeah, there was absolutely a mix-up. And as much as my understanding was that he had spoken to the court and they did not tell him to come in, and I should have come in. Yeah, it's absolutely a mistake on my part.
Well, it's not only a mistake, it's a sanctionable offense, and I think you ought to know that. To willfully tell a client, or even to intimate to a client, that they should in some way disobey a court order.
In no way, shape, or form, Your Honor, did I meant to have that effect happen. My understanding was that he had seen you in person this week, and that you come to court from. I would never, and I think you know that about me, I would never have anyone try to knowingly or disobey an order. I would never knowingly disobey any of your bond conditions or orders. He is, I mean, I don't know, Your Honor, this is a horrible mistake, and I'll fall on my sword for it, but it is a misunderstanding. Not any, in no way, shape, or form was I trying to get him to avoid justice, and he certainly is trying to avoid justice on this, Your Honor. I understand that these charges and allegations are serious. I mean, all I can say, Your Honor, is that my understanding was that he had spoken to the court this week and that he was free to come here Friday. We clearly had, at no point did I ever advise Mr. Carter to do anything else other than follow the law. And must have told him that a dozen times, something that every time I've talked to him, do not violate your bond, don't violate your bond, show up Friday. That's when we have a court date. My understanding was that was the understanding.
And that right there, Judge Simpson snapping, is the courtroom equivalent of a nuclear warning siren. Judges rarely lose composure, but Vincent keeps poking, interrupting, and acting like he's running the show. The irony? The judge had already let him talk for ages. But Vincent's inability to read the room turns the judge from patient to furious in a heartbeat. If you've ever wondered how fast you can tank credibility as a lawyer, this moment is a masterclass in self-destruction.
Get his CDL so he can take care of his kids. He is working on another job. He's availed himself to court today, Your Honor. If this is bound over to jury selection, he'll be there then too. He understands this is serious, Your Honor. He's just vehement in his innocence, and I perhaps have been overzealous on my part. I meant no disrespect to you, the court, to the people.
What I'm going to do in this case, because, I mean, something's got to be decided as to what was told this defendant. That may have to be resolved some other way, but the court will take whatever action it deems necessary, and I won't do that until June 26th, if I deem it appropriate to do so, because as angry as I am right now, I'm not going to make that decision on that. I will set a bond hearing in person in this case for June 26, 2023 at 9 a.m. All of the paperwork will be sent over, and we can deal with it at that point. In the interim, defendant's bond is revoked. I will adjourn the jury final settlement conference that we were going to have today, as well as the jury selection. Jury final settlement will be my next one, August 11th. 2023 at 9 a.m. Jury selection, August 14th, 2023 at 8:30. Defendant remanded.
Yeah, my echo.
I don't think you want to do that right now. I am just.
Your Honor, you know I did not.
Suggestion, not a maybe, a mandatory court order. And Vincent just didn't tell him. That's not just sloppy, that's dangerous. Attorneys are literally bound by professional rules to communicate vital information. By ignoring it, Vincent didn't just risk his client's freedom. He risked his own reputation and possibly his license. Watching this unfold, you can almost see Judge Simpson's patience unraveling thread by thread.